From epic pay-per-view concepts to classic designs that should have never been scrapped in the first place. Here's hoping these one-time crowd-popping components are all a part of Triple H's plan to breathe new life into the game that is modern-day WWE. Gareth here from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 things Triple H needs to bring back to WWE. Number 10, 2 world title straps. The company opted to head down the "this town ain't big enough for both of us" route on the road to WrestleMania 38, unifying the Universal and WWE Championships in an effort to double down on the head of the table's all-encompassing reign even more. And while it may have seemed like a pretty solid concept on paper, it seems pretty evident that nobody had factored in Roman Reigns deciding to understandably step away from the spotlight a touch post-Mania. Said reverting to part-time player has not only left SmackDown without their tribal chief for longer spells than the company and Fox would prefer, but Raw and USA have been devoid of an ever-present world champion since Bobby Lashley dropped the WWE title at Elimination Chamber in February. Simply put, Trips likely needs to find a way to split his top titles sooner rather than later. Mostly because the idea of Reigns sporadically defending his dual belts all the way to next year's two-night Mania is not the sort of American nightmare fans are willing to get behind at this current moment in time. Number 9, Evolution 2. It may not have done the sort of business that many may have hoped it would, but there's no doubting the impact WWE's first ever all-women's pay-per-view by the name of Evolution had on just about every person who tuned in or bought a ticket to take in this star-studded moment in time. So it seemed like a bit of a no-brainer for WWE to make this an annual delight. However, the uncertainty over top draw Ronda Rousey and the chaos of the pandemic seemed to put a pin in the creation of Evolution 2 for the foreseeable. Now that arguably the most effective booker of women's wrestling on the continent is heading up WWE's main roster creative though, and no doubt being backed by his co-CEO wife Stephanie McMahon, who confessed to pushing for a sequel back in late 2019, the all-women's follow-up PLE appears to be as likely as ever in the not-too-distant future. Number 8, unique show sets. While WWE do still often go out of their way to pull out all the staging stops come WrestleMania season, for the most part, just about every other show on the calendar is set against the most uninspired LED backdrop imaginable. It wasn't always this way, however. There was some time when WWE would put some serious effort into conceiving and executing some genuinely exciting set designs, with the likes of SummerSlam's palm tree-infused dressing and Vengeance's towering V being just a few of the awesome main roster stage concepts brought to life over the years. Hell, even the weekly TV offerings boasted a bit of character too. SmackDown once came equipped with its own iconic silver fist, that Bryan Danielson was particularly fond of course. So turn back the clock and bring back some good old-fashioned fisting trips. Number 7, King of the Ring pay-per-view. The way the company currently handles one of its most celebrated and prestigious hallmarks is downright shameful. Instead of dedicating an entire show to the concept of crowning a brand new King of the Ring, WWE have opted to cart out the tournament as something of an afterthought on weekly television, before throwing away the eventual final in the thick of a forgettable PLE or worse on a run-of-the-mill episode of Raw. WWE already dedicates an entire PLE to the likes of the Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber concepts, so why not give this fellow company trademark the respect and focus it deserves by bringing back the King of the Ring event? After all, said iconic show is synonymous with everything from the birth of Austin 316 to Mankind being hurled off the top of a bloody cell. And while they're at it, having both the women's and men's winners be gifted a world championship shot in the wake of being handed their crown, much like Brock Lesnar in 2002, would not be the worst idea either. Number 6, Cyber Sunday. Say what you want about WWE when it comes to the company often feeling as though it's being left behind by the rest of the modern world, but there's no questioning the fact that Vince McMahon and his promotion were ahead of the time somewhat when it came to the concept known as Cyber Sunday, offering up the chance for fans to vote on everything from who should take part in a world championship bout to what specific match stipulations a pair of rivals would be competing under. The likes of Cyber Sunday and Taboo Tuesday before it definitely seemed to engage with the idea of fans having an impact on what they were seeing via the tapping of their computers or phones. But in a period when social media has never been more prevalent and influential for that matter, perhaps it's time to bring a similar style of PLE back into the system. Number 5, a draft lottery. What was once the source of many a glorious pop and truly jaw-dropping moment has now become one of the most consistently underwhelming special occurrences WWE has to offer. Gone are the days of folks battling it out on the likes of Raw or SmackDown for the honor of scoring a random pick for their brand. In their place is a frankly lazy alternative that sees an authority figure drearily reading out the names of each of their draft picks as a garish graphic pops up of the wrestlers flexing in front of their newly confirmed show color. Hell, even the War Room shtick seen during 2019's iteration of the draft was a touch more entertaining than what fans are currently forced to witness whenever WWE decide to shake things up a little. But the real drama lies in the compelling draft lottery concept seen in the mid-2000s, with two GMs being given the opportunity to pick 12 stars from their rival brand each out of a lottery bin before deciding on whether they would like to trade any of their talents before midnight of the draft itself. Number 4. NXT Survivor Series Invasion. Never has the laughable idea of brand supremacy been as compelling as it was during 2019's Black and Gold invasion of the main roster. Hot on the heels of Triple H unleashing his darlings on SmackDown on November 1st, 2019, WWE opted to have these developmental sensations collide with their Raw and SmackDown big league superstars. And the end results were electric to say the least. A breakout performance from Keith Lee in the traditional Survivor Series elimination bout, Rhea Ripley putting in a star-making shift over the course of the weekend itself, and NXT only going on to win the whole evening all added some much-needed unpredictability to an often pointless evening of action. Yet in the years since this 2019 eye-catcher of a Survivor Series, WWE has refrained from mixing in their NXT contingent when it comes to the Big Four show for various reasons. With trips already setting in motion more than a few brand crossovers over the last few weeks, however, it's not outside of the realms of possibility that the incoming Survivor Series PLE could see Braun break the Tribal Chief, or Carmelo Hayes mix it up with Bobby Lashley and Gunther. A boy can dream. Number 3. Classic Championship Belt Designs. It feels as though fans are very much angling to see the World Championships once again split between the two main roster brands taking up residence on Fox and USA. And with that in mind, news of Triple H also reportedly requesting a visual change-up when it comes to some of the titles currently found occupying the likes of Raw, SmackDown, and possibly NXT may have just offered up a glimmer of hope to those who have been longing for the return of some iconic championship designs. It's not as though WWE have never reintroduced a much-loved design from the past either, with Cody Rhodes famously bringing back the legendary white-strapped Intercontinental title back in 2011, of course. The American Nightmare himself hasn't exactly shied away from the fact it would be something to see the winged eagle variation of the WWE Championship be brought back into the fold in the future too. So could fans see the American Nightmare make it 2 for 2 with title restorations in the coming years? And is there a world where the game trades out the garish Universal strap for his big gold belt baby of the past? Hopefully it's a yes to at least one of the above. Number 2, the Mixed Match Challenge. Outside of trying and failing to generate any buzz for the eventual content upon deciding to pump the compelling mixed tag showdowns onto Facebook Watch of all places, WWE's Mixed Match Challenge competition did actually come with some rather admirable positives. The first iteration of the tournament saw the victors come away with $100,000 for a charity of their choosing, while the second mixed tag team tourney winners walked away with the number 30 spot in their respective Royal Rumble matches. In combining both of said prizes and perhaps steering away from Season 2's round-robin style competition, a traditional bracket involving some of the main roster's finest teaming to come away with a genuinely intriguing in-ring incentive, along with a respectable chunk of cash for a chosen charity, could definitely make for some must-watch action going forward. Number 1, a talking smack-style talk show with RENEE Paquette. News of RENEE Paquette once again working alongside WWE in the form of a place on a recent A&E WWE Rivals panel quickly left fans clamoring to see the one-time Talking Smack host be brought back aboard the sports entertainment machine in a more permanent role. Of course, the company has attempted to recapture the magic of that initial slice of glorious post-SmackDown content over the years, yet they have all sorely lacked the charm and unexpected drama that was regularly captured whenever RENEE was steering the unpredictable and organic ship between 2016 to 2018 with Debray. And while Paquette's last real hosting role within the promotion saw her spearheading a WWE backstage panel show that didn't ultimately take off in the way many had hoped, heading down a similar Talking Smack post-Raw or SmackDown breakdown show route with RENEE at the wheel would make all the sense in the world. If the session's host is given the freedom to do what she does best, bringing the real and compelling personalities out of those working in between the ropes, Trips handing her the keys to a new headline-grabbing talk show would no doubt be best for business. And that's our list. Know of any other things Triple H needs to bring back to WWE? Let us know all about them in the comments section right down below, and do not forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button while you're at it. Also, be sure to head on over to whatculture.com and find some more incredible articles just like the one this video you're watching right now is based on. I've been Gareth from What Culture Wrestling. Thank you as always for clicking on this lovely video today. Hopefully I'll see you very soon, but in the meantime, be good to yourself. Bye bye.